A Muslim takes necessary actions but never attaches his heart to them. He places his trust in God, knowing that divine blessings flow through everything, his sustenance, work, time, and relationships. When someone constantly calculates whether they have enough time, food, or resources, blessings vanish because their heart clings to the means while forgetting the provider. God blesses everything when he wills: your time, effort, strength, food, children, and spouse. So yes, take action, but anchor your heart to God. Ask him for blessings and continually thank him for his gifts so he may bless your entire life. Omar bin al-Harith, brother of Juwayriyah bint al-Harith, the mother of believers, said something remarkable about our Prophet's death. The messenger of God left behind no gold coins, no silver, no slaves, nothing except his white mule that he rode, his weapons, and land designated as charity for travelers. This was the Prophet's worldly legacy. During his final illness, he had 6 or 7 dinars at home. He instructed his wives to give them away as charity, but then he lost consciousness. When he awakened and found the money still there, he asked why they hadn't distributed it. They explained they'd been preoccupied caring for him. He took the coins, turned them in his hands, and said words that shake the soul. What would Muhammad think of his Lord if he met him with these? There is no God but Allah. Our Prophet felt ashamed to meet God while leaving behind even this small amount. Though people normally leave inheritance for their families, prophets are different. Whatever they leave becomes charity. He wanted to give this charity by choice during his lifetime rather than after death. This was how detached our Prophet was from worldly possessions. The white mule was essential for transportation, the weapons necessary, and the lands of Fadak and portions from Khaybar and Banu Nadir provided sustenance for his family, but were designated as ongoing charity for Muslims and travellers. These lands later caused a misunderstanding between Fatima and Abu Bakr, because she didn't initially know that prophets don't leave inheritance. When Abu Bakr distributed these resources to the poor instead of to the Prophet's family, she was hurt. But Abu Bakr visited her seeking reconciliation. This was how merciful the companions were with each other. When he reminded her of the Prophet's own words that prophets don't leave inheritance, and whatever they leave is charity, she accepted immediately. The companions never harbored resentment in their hearts. Khabbab bin al-Arat tells an even more powerful story. He was among the early migrants who suffered terrible torture for his faith. The polytheists in Makkah would place him on burning coals, and only the fat melting from his back would extinguish the flames. Despite this agony, he remained steadfast. He said they migrated with the messenger seeking God's pleasure, and their reward rested with God. Some died without tasting any worldly reward. Among them was Mus'ab bin Umair, killed at the Battle of Uhud, leaving behind only a striped woolen garment so small that when they covered his head, his feet showed, and when they covered his feet, his head appeared. The Prophet instructed them to cover his head and place sweet-smelling idkhir grass over his feet. Consider who Mus'ab was before Islam, the most pampered young man in Makkah. People knew he had passed through a street by the fragrance of his perfume. He possessed the finest musk and lived as the most comfortable youth in Quraysh. But when he embraced Islam, his mother cut him off from all worldly comforts. He abandoned everything for God and was martyred at Uhud. This was all he left behind, a small woolen garment. Khabbab continued, "And some of us have had our fruits ripen, and we are harvesting them." This refers metaphorically to those who later enjoyed conquests, spoils, and wealth. This reveals something profound. God gives worldly possessions to those he loves and those he doesn't, but he only gives faith to those he loves. When someone receives worldly abundance, they must not surrender to desires and pleasures. Remember that worldly enjoyment is little. The Quran says the enjoyment of this world is little. This life is fleeting, temporary, and ultimately worthless, unless you invest your time in worshipping God and drawing closer to him. Nothing benefits you in the hereafter except righteous deeds. No matter how much you enjoy or indulge, everything else vanishes. When worldly pleasures open up and you become preoccupied with them, Your rank with God diminishes because you're busy with luxuries rather than necessities. Going out for drinks and fancy meals purely for enjoyment and expansion in worldly pleasure becomes, unfortunately, a dominant pattern for many people. If this happened occasionally, to relieve monotony once a month or every 2 months, it might be overlooked, especially if a Muslim's fundamental life is devoted to God. But when it becomes someone's primary concern, going out constantly every week or more, living for entertainment and comfort, this undoubtedly decreases their rank with God. They could have spent that time differently. Even if they're not doing anything forbidden, they haven't renounced the world. They've attached themselves to it and sought its pleasures. How can someone who completely devoted themselves to God and tasted nothing of worldly indulgence equal someone who pursued it eagerly? Everyone ranks according to their deeds, according to their renunciation of the world and their actions within it. We ask God to forgive and have mercy on us. We ask Him to make us among those who renounce the world and desire the hereafter. May God forgive our sins, expiate our misdeeds, and let us die among the righteous. May God forgive us, our parents, and all Muslim men and women, the living and the dead. Praise belongs to God, Lord of the worlds, and may God's peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad, his family, and all his companions.